Hey, how's it going? It's Cody from Ray Sporting Goods. It's like 3 a.m. We just killed a bunch of pigs and we decided we might make a video real quick about some of the equipment we're using, and then we're going to highlight one new unit we are now carrying here at the shop that is pretty much a game changer. So this is a Trijicon SkeetIR. This is a really high performance 640 by 480 thermal monocular. This unit is something special. So we can't always have these in stock when we can get our hands on them. We always really try to, because man, we know how sweet of a unit it is for guys who are really into nighttime activities, mainly hunters, right, and thermal hog hunting specifically. The way to describe it is it doesn't make sense how good it looks for the size, right, and the weight of it. We can't talk prices on Instagram, but this thing's like 8.6 ounces. It's worth almost exactly its weight in gold currently. It's what makes it so desirable and also so expensive is the versatility. So if you're a guy who's going to put a thermal scope on a rifle, and kind of that's the extent of his equipment, right? You could use this as a clip-on, which I'm going to get into, but your money's probably better spent, if that's kind of the extent of the capabilities you want as a thermal rifle scope, getting something more dedicated, right? So this is a Trijicon IR135, one of my favorite units that's ever been out that I've used. I have the Reap IRs as well. I have a 60 millimeter, really good unit. It's kind of little differences with very similar performance. So it's all about what you prioritize, but this is like half the cost of this little guy, right? So I mean, if you a son or a buddy or whatever are doing this, I mean, I'd rather have a safe with two LWRC 6.8s or two 5.56s, 3.0s, whatever you're using for hunting, with standalone thermals. It's a little more energy draining as far as like scanning, and especially like a little more awkward out of trucks, right? So when you have this on your rifle and you're looking around all the time, right, it's no big deal. But if you do that for hours on end, right, or you're in a cab of a vehicle, it can be a little annoying versus something like this, right, that could be coming out of your pocket, right? So this is something for people that I think get a little more into it than just a dedicated rifle thermal, or the guy who wants the kind of one to rule them all, where he wants to spend the money one time and have something that's super versatile. So that might be a better use of your money for a standalone thermal. Where this guy makes it worth the money is just in the multitude of ways you can use it for detection. I myself run it 99% of the time on a helmet like this. It's just kind of too easy. I do usually run a night vision eye. I mean, I really, honestly, with a SkeetIR in your head, I don't use the night vision so much for hunting. But when it's time to shoot stuff, I shoot with IR lasers and stuff like that, right? So you need a night vision to be able to see that. So here, I run it down on this helmet. Most of the time alone. Whenever I want to, or I'm going to shoot or whatnot, I'll put that night vision down and kind of run them in conjunction. So it is a really capable unit. Guys, especially hunting from vehicles, which a lot of us do, be that a Polaris or a pickup truck, being able to have something on your head, right, and just everywhere you're looking, you're scanning. I mean, you'd be surprised the stuff you miss. I remember we were very active scanning hunters in general. We're trying to find these pigs, right. When I went from just using a standalone thermal, I mean, you'd see 30% of stuff that you wouldn't see otherwise. It's just every time you turn your head, you're scanning versus having to bring that gun up, right, and scan that way. So definitely a really cool unit. Another way we do run this is generally as just like in a pocket as a scanner that direction, right? So you could be stalking up to the pigs using this nice and easy, rifle slung up, right? And when you want to, dump it to the pocket and bring up the rifle and rock and roll. If you don't have a standalone weapon thermal, what you could do as well is kind of make use of this clip-on system. So I'm going to power. This is my personal one I've had for over a year that I've been using the hell out of, and it's been awesome. So I'm going to get this calibrated real quick. So I'm going to stick this in front of this VCOG here, this Trijicon VCOG. So I could go from scanning in the field, stalking something, slapping that thing on there, right, or having it on there already. This mount flips to the side as well, which is pretty cool. You can move it out of the way if you want. But anyway, so running it like this, like I'll show you guys a view through this VCOG in a second. It's pretty neat. It's again only 8.6 ounces, so it's not a whole lot of weight on the gun. It's just very easy. And as far as clip-on units out there, it's something that you're not going to feel is slowing down your gun. It also has it has an IR laser emitter on here. So I think most of the time I use that to point out, heat to night vision users. So guys, my buddies that come out that just have night vision, a lot of times if they're not having trouble actually seeing where pigs are, I can put a laser on them and it's nice and easy. You could use it to shoot, right? Of course, if it's mounted as well. But it works primarily for a way for you to pinpoint out objects of interest or whatnot. So pretty cool. Check through it real quick. Yeah, cool. So that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to show you guys a look through this real fast. All right. So try to find the sweet spot here. So that'll be as much as I can get you just through this phone. So you can see you get a really nice image. You can run this with a multitude of different types of optics. A lot of people do magnifiers and red dots. This is a 1 to 8 low power variable. It's about on 2 or 3 right now, but really cool unit. So it's one of those things where if you have any interest in getting something in this kind of price point, of a lot of stuff you can buy, again, for mainly hunters, it's got some crazy utility. You can use it in a lot of different ways, and as far as helmet mounted thermals go, it is still kind of the bee's knees out there. So any questions, hit us up. But life's too short for cheap thermals and cheap guns. So